So, Kit, I'm gonna be honest with you. From where I sit in the Carolinas, even as a news producer, I feel like I know that there was bad weather, and I know certain facts like deaths and flooding and tornadoes. But can you
Mhm.
fill in all the blanks for me as somebody who went through this locally?
So this was a day 7 slight risk from the Storm Prediction Center. It was I believe it was this one, the largest day 7 slight ever issued by the Storm Prediction Center. So, uh, over the week ahead of this event, which was, of course, last Wednesday, they continued to update and hone in and really put Memphis right in the bullseye. And shout out to them. They did an impeccable job with this event, forecasting, like I said, 7 days out. This came after Sunday. We had some severe weather. I don't recall if it was a level 3 or level 2, but we did have a tornado touchdown in Poinsett County, Arkansas. It was rated EF0, so it was not uh, the main event that we were expecting for the week, but it was sort of our first one. We were like, okay, this one looks good. Wednesday looks bad, but we'll get to it when we get to it.
Yeah, one at
This
a
is going to
time.
be the big day. Um, and then once we got to Tuesday, we had a moderate, and I did the thing you're never supposed to do and check the SPC update at 2 a.m. from bed. And I believe it was Broyles issued the high risk for Wednesday.
Well, I'm surprised you made it to bed at all because I feel like every time I looked at the live stream, there you were in front of the key wall, and I think you
Mhm.
kind of said it yourself. You're like, which day was which just now? They must all be blurring together.
So Wednesday, I came in at noon. I usually come in around 2. So I came in 2 hours early. We started up a live stream to carry a press release or presser from the Memphis Police Department. We started that around 2:30, and our first watch or first warning was issued. I was just looking at it. It was issued shortly after we started that live stream. We were like, all right, well, if we've got the live stream up, let's just
Just keep
let's
going.
start things up. And
Yeah.
I've got it here. It was 2:46, the first warning of Wednesday. After that, they issued a PDS tornado watch, particularly dangerous situation, for massive hail, for tornadoes that will be long tracked, very strong, and I think it was 70 or 80 mile per hour winds. Um, I don't have it in front of me. There was too much going on,
Well, no,
and
certainly. I can help a little bit because you sent me a bunch of stuff before we started, and I can pop some of this up on the screen. But like, these are some of the preliminary surveys: Arkansas, Mississippi, Tennessee. From your greater Memphis area, April 2nd and April 3rd. But like you just mentioned, I'm looking at EF3s with 160, 165 mile per hour winds. There's at least four of them on this one graphic. And then you've got a page 2 that even has more EF1s, EF2s of winds over
Mhm.
100 miles an hour. So, I mean, how, how is the community reeling from all of this?
So there are several communities that were directly hit. If you go back one, the Selmer tornado, that one was a dramatic. We're looking here at sort of the first one that
Okay.
we had the first tornado emergency. This happened around 6:15, 6:45 time frame, and as that crossed over Interstate 555, we got a view of it, which James is trying to pull
Here it
up here.
comes. Yeah.
Here it comes. All right, so if you look in the upper left, right behind that earlier, they take it down here in just a moment, but you can see a very thin, dark band, and that's a clear rope tornado. Props to our producers who are pulling this
Right.
so quickly to get this, but you can see just a quick cone, a few flashes illuminate it from behind, and then it sort of fades into the rain shaft. It's of course a south looking north view here, so we can't quite pick it out. But then, as it jumps
Look at
forward,
that.
we get it illuminated by a bright flash, and that was it was shocking for us because last we saw it, it was this thin rope, and now it's this large cone with that dust coming up around the bottom. Um, Again, props to our producers and our editors for grabbing that so quickly.
It's not
Uh,
easy to do.
no, and we we realized here this is going to be the show of the day. Um,
Yeah.
Technically, it was because everything else that happened that became sort of outranking that. came after midnight.
Yeah, but
Uh,
what's so incredible because as weather nerds, we're looking at the debris
mhm,
detector here, as you called it, right?
right.
We're looking at that radar signature and we're like, whoa, look at those colors. But nothing on a radar is ever going to be as impressive as just seeing is believing.
Mhm. And there's a lot of research about that of if you can show the tornado, people take action faster. And so we were really glad that we had this resource from Arkansas DOT. Of course, this is actually velocity. I mentioned it, but I'm the way I had to do it in the graphic system, I had to manually flip it back and forth.
Sure.
Um, but the debris ball quickly showed up near Bay, Arkansas, right past I-555. Eventually, it went past Lake City, Arkansas there, and we got a viewer who sent in this video. And here in the clip here, I'm actually like analyzing like this is the tornado. We did this at 10 o'clock. This was about 4 hours later. Um, but you can just see the massive wall cloud, the tornado itself. There were some horizontal vortices, the cyclonic vortices on the side of that, which of course only happens in large violent tornadoes. It was astounding to look at. In the comments of this video, I have gotten some negative reviews of calling it beautiful and terrible. There's nothing. People
Impressive. Yeah.
Right, right. And
Right.
and I don't say that to glorify it or say that it is a good thing. It's just this is such pure meteorology come
Hmm.
to fruition that's where I find that incredible nature of it. Of course, you can see power flashes with that. So far, this has been rated EF3, 160 mile, I believe 160. If I swap back over, I can confirm that so I
You'll
don't
know better than me
forget.
on which one it is on your chart.
Yeah, so this was the EF3 150, um, Lake City. Now Bay
Okay.
Village was surveyed at EF0. Eventually, that same storm, and from what I understand of the debris detector, the correlation coefficient drop, I believe it was continuous. This is from the National Weather Service. Of course, it's preliminary, so they may not have connected that yet. Um, but they haven't given all the details on that. But uh, I'll take you to the next one of Senatobia, Mississippi, which is highest end EF3 so far. Um, Senatobia was a bear of its own. Um, Unfortunately, it came out much later that the outdoor warning sirens did not go off for their tornado
Mm.
warning. And this is an unfortunate thing. Of course, this is why we urge people to have multiple ways to get warnings, and those outdoor warning sirens aren't intended to wake you up.
Even
But
when
that
they're
is
working.
right. That's of course something that a lot of people will hear and then realize